Forsberg doing everything he can, but a tough run against Tyler McCory.
Now take note again, when they pull away from the line, that steep angle, you get an idea of how much the degree of angle. See right there, they're both trying to gain traction as they pull away from the start line.
And it's a short straight, so grip is very important here. And Chris Forsberg trying to get as high on the bank as he can and doing a great job of that. And Tyler McCory right there next to him.
About a 4-mile-per-hour difference as Tyler led the first run, and here Chris Forsberg's leading the second run. As they come into the first part of the figure 8, Tyler McCory doing a better job of sticking to Chris Forsberg's back bumper there.
Yeah, absolutely. McCory seeming to have a little bit more grip than Chris Forsberg, and now catching up to Forsberg. As we finish this run right here, Tyler McCory may have this one in the bag, Jared.
And you know what the judges are looking for is basically utilizing that lead car as a moving clipping point, hanging with them, and Tyler McCory there on the bank does a good job of that. And then in the latter part of the track, he does just that, mirroring him. Every move he makes, he follows him. So Ernie Fixmer with Tyler McCory, Tony Angelo, Tyler McCory, and it's unanimous. Tyler McCory gets the win.
And here we go, the last and final battle of the Great 8. Vaughn Gittin Jr. going up against Robbie Nishida.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to lead. Robbie Nishida is going to give chase. Let's see how they initiate into the bank.
Nice job by JR and Robbie Nishida, both high on the bank with a little bit less angle by Robbie Nishida and a ton of smoke coming off Vaughn Gittin Jr.
You could barely see Robbie Nishida's wing sticking out of that Falcon tire smoke as they made their way from the bank to the flat part of the track.
Nice wide line, nice counter lock by JR. Great transition back, and Robbie Nishida getting lost in the smoke and now coming in too tight.
Yeah, look at that. Vaughn Gittin Jr. swinging the wide line, what the judges want to see, and maintaining that drift. Robbie Nishida cutting it tight and basically cutting off that clipping point there.
Man, and look at all that smoke, and here you see a little bit more angle and nice and high on the bank by Vaughn Gittin Jr. And here you see Robbie Nishida losing drift, and who knows what happened right there.
Oh, look at this. It's official. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is waiting on the line, and Robbie Nishida saying that he is broken. He is done for the day, and that means only one thing. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to move on.
So here we go, Jared. It's the first battle of the top 4. Darren McNamara going up against Ken Gucci, and McNamara making up some great points here with Chris Forsberg going out in the round of 8.
Ken Gucci's going to lead. D-Mac is going to give chase. Let's see how they do going into the bank.
Darren McNamara known for creeping right up against his competitors, and here he goes as we transition off the bank. Nice job by Ken Gucci and Darren McNamara right there.
Critical part of the track was that transition, but now here they go in the first part of the figure 8, and Darren McNamara a little shallow there.
Taking advantage of that inside line is Darren McNamara. Now Ken Gucci is really going to have to get out ahead here. Nice wide line. Darren McNamara again taking the inside line. Will he cut off Ken Gucci right here?
I got to tell you, Darren McNamara looks like he's just got power on call. You can see him turning it on here in the first part of the figure 8. Door-to-door action. He's been doing it all day. It's like a signature move.
The line was shallow. Will the judges look negatively upon that?
Like Darren McNamara is looking solid right now.
So Ken Gucci will have to come out strong here, maintain some pressure against Darren McNamara, but McNamara already off the gates and doing a great job as he transitions into the Circle 8.
Darren McNamara let it all hang out. You can see how much angle he has over Ken Gucci, and there he is pouring on that Falcon tire smoke, and look at this separation in the transition.
Ken Gucci suffering, coming inside, taking a shallower line, and right now this may be over for Ken Gucci.
Darren McNamara lighting it up. Ken Gucci shutting it down as he goes across the line here.
Darren McNamara nice and high on the bank. Gucci fine about until this point, but in the last part of the figure 8, Ken Gucci shallows up. All the meanwhile, Darren McNamara, tons of smoke.
Going to the judges. Yep, it's unanimous. D-Mac gets the win. Falcon Tires will be 1 and 2 on the podium. The winner of this goes against a now happy D-Mac. The loser goes against Ken Gucci.
Well, teammates are teammates, but I can tell you right now, Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Tyler McCory both want to be facing Darren McNamara.
Team McHugh, Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiating into the bank. Let's see how they throw it down here.
It's all about the bank, and Tyler McCory and Vaughn Vaughn Gittin Jr. nice and high. Tons of smoke coming off the bank. Great transition by both drivers.
Teal and blue and Falcon tire all over the track right now. Tyler McCoy swinging wide. Vaughn Gittin Jr. trying to put the pressure on.
Tyler McCoy now starting to pull away, a little bit more grip than Vaughn Gittin Jr. and taking a little bit of a shallower line as Tyler McCoy, but Vaughn Gittin Jr. is following right behind him.
Crazy right now. Tyler McCoy in that nimble 350Z pulling away from that 2010 Ford Mustang.
You see both drivers about even on the bank, but really, Jared, the thing that I saw was Tyler McCoy had a little bit more speed coming out of the figure eight, and how will that play into the second part of this battle?
The winner, again, goes against D-Mac. The loser could still get third place.
If McCoy can stay on line, he will be right up against Vaughn Gittin Jr. Let's see what happens.
Again, utilizing that lead car as the clipping point. We need to see them door to door as Darren McNamara showed us all day. Can they do it?
And as suspected, Tyler McCoy is right there against Vaughn Gittin Jr., sucking up on the inside while maintaining a great line as they come out of the figure eight.
Wow, good job by Tyler McCoy. Vaughn Gittin Jr. trying to phase him here with all this smoke.
Tyler McCoy right there. Oh, he shallowed up a little bit right there. Tyler McCoy, a huge mistake, Jared.
Major mistake by Tyler McCoy. That is not going to be good for the outcome of him.
He was challenging Vaughn Gittin Jr. until that point and makes a critical error right there. You can't even see in this smoke, but Tyler McCoy straightens out of the figure eight. May have lost that battle right there, Jared.
Yeah, I think the smoke played a huge role in this, and Tyler McCoy could be the loser. Vaughn Gittin Jr. putting it down. Well, the crowd is loving it as we go to the judges. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. He's going to do battle against D-Mac.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Mazda. On any given weekend, there are more Mazdas road raced than any other brand. And by Falcon Tires. Welcome back to Formula Drift. The finals are on deck, but first up, the consolation round for third. Kent Gucci and Tyler McCrory battled it out for a spot on the podium. In run one, McCrory makes a critical mistake, nearly handing the win to Gucci. However, in run two, it was Gucci who faltered on the track, and judges called for a one more time. Tyler McCrory saw this as a chance for redemption, and in the next heat, he didn't give Gucci an inch. While chasing, Kent Gucci was low on the bank, and coming into the transition, McCrory left him in the dust, assuring a podium full of Falcon drivers. Now we move into the finals with two drivers with similar style. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Darren McNamara are known for never holding back, and they have a lot of respect for each other on the track.
JR, a lunatic.
Darren, my lucky leprechaun teammate, he is a heck of a driver. He's confident, he feels good about the car, and that could definitely be dangerous for the competitors out there.
It's an incredible sport to watch, and if people could just sit in or get a spin in one of these, they would just be blown away. If I won this weekend, it'd mean the world right now. I mean, as I said, we have to get a jump on points right now on guys that are struggling with new cars. You just got to go with the flow, and when you sit into the car, that's when you think about it.
I have a new way that I'm approaching things this year, and it's one step at a time is really a way to sum it up. Not thinking too much, getting ahead of myself. Competition day is competition day. Wake up in the morning, work out, eat a good breakfast, come to the track, and compete one guy at a time. See who I got to go against, think about it, run it in my head a couple times, do all the way up, hopefully to the podium, and then it's time to go party. The rain is coming in, but I'm trying to hold it off.
He's just crazy behind that wheel, the man. He's crazy in general. You're just crazy is one word for JR.
Burn some freaking tires today! Wow!
Well, Ryan, one thing is official. Falcon Tires has swept the podium. First ever. Tyler McCrory's already in third, but who's going to get first place? Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Darren McNamara?
Well, Falcon is all over the cars, but that's where the similarities end, Jared. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Darren McNamara are different as day and night, and let's see what happens in this last battle.
The Irishman versus the All-American. Darren McNamara coming into the bank.
D-Mac already pulling out ahead ahead against Von Gittin Jr., but Von Gittin Jr. nice and high on the bank, and the quickness of that Saturn Sky, Jared, is becoming apparent.
I always joke, but I seriously think that thing is part of the NASA program. It is a rocket ship, a bullet.
Now about almost 10 car lengths away are Von Gittin Jr. and Darren McNamara, and standing smoke all over the track. Darren McNamara is putting it down against Von